I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some shit, stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some shit, stick it in the ballroom. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Sticking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the farm, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, got the detonator. I'm killing every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. Some shit, stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some shit, stick it in the ballroom.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to our Reactor live launch AMA, a very special edition today. Usually we do our daily live AMAs and Detonator rollover events. Now we're going to have a Detonator rollover event and a Reactor rollover event with our brand new contract that just went live. I'm going to go ahead and do a screen share here in a minute. We're going to answer a bunch of questions, but Reactor has launched flawlessly. Again, I am so impressed with our community and our team. Jake, our developer, Chad Dev, on Telegram is literally the GOAT when it comes to being a based dev in crypto. You guys have no idea what it takes to have a flawless launch, and we've done it again and again and again and again. So amazing day today. Almost $1 million in the Reactor contract already. A ton of eShare and BNB locked up. We're still seeing some volatility on eShare, which is to be expected, but overall, this should be really healthy for the APRs. Over the next few days, as word gets out, we'll see things really start to accumulate. Daily burst is insane. It's well over 1% right now. I think closer to 2% with all the instant rewards. And again, that will also level off. But Reactor is a monster. So without further ado, my co-host with the most, Bull Gates, how are you, brother?
Oh yeah, I'm on mute, but no longer. Super reaction, right? The Reactor kicking butt. And what are we? An hour in, or roughly a little bit. 825 grand in the contract, growing. Exactly, I think what you guys wanted to see, a flawless launch from the team, like usual. So yeah, I'm super pumped. Like I always say, Jay, and it's the truth, and that's why I always say it. It's everything here is done amazingly, and if it isn't right, it's always stepped up, fixed, boom. It's crypto. There's always going to be little things here and there, a minute late, a minute early, whatever, no big deal. It's not going to affect your life for the negative. But I mean, really, I don't think you couldn't probably be any happier with the launch, the way that it's gone off. The page looks amazing graphics as usual. Page looks perfect. It's, the balance is slowly ticking up. I think everybody that got in their tiers are really happy with the way it's going. What did you say? As you mentioned, the eShare, has some volatility, but I believe that was talked about for, the week, from the minute Reactor was talked about. I think the community talked about that there would be volatility, we would see that. And I think as Reactor powers up, I think we're going to see, a synergy happen within the ecosystem. And I know I shared with you my little flow chart, and so I shared it with a few other Army members. And I think that as we see really Reactor power up, powered obviously by 𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘯𝘐, we're going to see really some amazing strategies built as the detonator, as the Reactor builds and kind of syncs, if you will, or synergizes with the detonator. We're going to see some amazing stuff, some amazing kind of fireworks, really kind of light this ecosystem on fire, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely, Bull. I know we've been talking about it all week about how Reactor will be that second side of the coin, or like you eloquently put, the analogy of the bicycle chain, where one cranks the other. We're going to see that in action now. Again, being able to take profits from Reactor and pair it up with EMP to make LP, not just having to rely on ETH anymore, and now having exposure to BNB as well. So, there's a ton of ways that this is going to benefit the ecosystem. Yes, we cannot be happier with the launch. I think everybody did an amazing job being on the same page. We got all of our early access people in the whitelist if you bought a node. That really helped a little bit on PEG. We're already seeing PEG recover. And now there's a massive foundation in this contract to help it grow over the next 6 or 7 months, just like we've seen with Detonator over that time span. So it's a win-win for everybody. Congrats to all of you that are in. If you're not in already, again, we never give financial advice or give calls to invest, but it could be a good opportunity to get into EMP if you have not already, or if you're in the ecosystem and want to diversify around, Reactor would be a great choice. And so we always say never sell your positions in the ecosystem. Again, don't dump EMP. Don't liquidate your other LP in the farm, unless, again, maybe a percentage of that. If you already have 𝘰𝘰𝘪𝘯𝘐, you're more than welcome to take a little bit out of the farm or the auto compounders and then put it into Reactor. But definitely don't break your LP, your EMP ETH LP, to go into Reactor, because we have a lot of synergistic things in play as well. And so we just added this to the white paper, and I'll elaborate a little bit more, because even I was a bit not confused, but needed clarification. And so we are actually giving a multiplier on Reactor based on your detonator position. So if you're able to compound or deposit at least one LP into Detonator every single day, you will then get a 1.01 multiplier on Reactor. So again, to clarify, if you're looking to deposit into Reactor, then you need to deposit one LP, and that is accumulative, so you can do it over the course of a day. And if you want to compound in Reactor, then you need to compound at least one LP in Detonator. So again, they are separate, and it's dependent on whether you would rather deposit or compound is what you need to be prioritizing. So this is a great way for us to continue to build Detonator. Again, both of the contracts have their own strengths, and so you want to be diversified into both instead of destroying your position in one to get into the other. So hopefully that helps clarify a little bit. Again, we have updates to the white paper coming over the next few days as we get everything dialed in. But overall, just an amazing launch, and we should see it really help the price of eShare, especially when we start to recover PEG over the next few days and weeks. There'll be less eShare in circulation, which means potentially a higher price. So, all right, Bull, any questions so far? I know we're going to make this one, again, just kind of a recap. I wanted to have a celebration with all of you. And yeah, more than happy to take questions for the next 45 minutes.
I have one. Are we going to be staying at this time or going back to the regular time for the dual for the detonator and reactor launcher? I should say more properly, the reactor and detonator rollovers.
Yes, so great question, Bull. We will be going back to our original time. Today was just a little bit different because we had to get a lot of moving parts. I know all of us have been compounding and depositing, so we were about an hour late today. But moving forward, we will start our AMAs at the normal time we've been doing for the last 2 months. That's 6:45 Eastern. And we will start with the reactor rollover, which is now going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we will do an entire hour, well, I guess 45 minutes of updates and questions. And then we will end on detonator at again, bear with me. I know it's going to take me a while to get used to all the new names. So, but we'll end with detonator, just like we normally do on the AMA. So same breakdown. Just we're going to open up with reactor and then end with detonator, and then everything else is the same in between. So, yep, that is the plan. Good question, Bull. And I am going to pull up.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, my screen too. So Bull, you're gonna have to field all the questions for me because I can't have both. So all right, let me go ahead and pull up my screen.
Oh man, you should get a dual screen. Dual monitors.
I know. We're working on. I'm working on the home office. I'm on a laptop, so imagine.
Bro, I got 5 monitors. I got 5 monitors.
I'm jealous. All right.
But I'm a super nerd, so don't compete with me. Yeah. Let me see here. I wanted to read this comment because I think this is amazing. So this is from Cyber Warrior. In comparison, I think AF had about 250K in their launch, and we are already at about 4 times that. So, yeah, no shade being thrown at people. Of course, it's just I think it's really easy to be tribal in crypto, but successful launches are successful launches regardless of the protocol. And I think we're all happy that the way that the team pulled this off. I know there are a lot of community members that helped with this. There are a lot of community members that bought nodes. There were community members that were VIP or Army that have, done those good deeds, so to speak, within the protocol to get into those positions. And I think a lot of those people are very happy with the way that, that as AJ has kind of messaged that idea that rewarding those people, let me put it a better way. I think the ecosystem rewarding the people that are supporting and helping the ecosystem grow as part of that ecosystem, because it is a really, kind of an odd concept to grasp that, here you really are the ecosystem where, and it really does play a large role, even if you had like $100, let's just say hypothetically, and the total was, $100 million. You seem like you're just a little tadpole, but you do have an impact in this ecosystem because it is relatively tiny in comparison to, Ethereum or Bitcoin or Cardano, like the major tokens, or unless you're a billionaire, you're not making any types of waves in Ethereum or Bitcoin when you do things. But the beautiful thing is that here, regardless of the size of your bag, really, you can make a big splash, and that's a really important thing to take away about being part of a smaller project. And there's nothing derogatory with the term a smaller project, right? This just means it's closer knit, where it's easier, and more realistic to say we are a family here, because I know for a fact that I know a lot of people in this ecosystem. I talk to them regularly. I know about their personal lives. And I'm sure there are other people in the ecosystem that are exactly the same. And there's no way that you feel like that in if you're part of the Bitcoin ecosystem or the Cardano ecosystem, and they're just too big. And the reality, kind of here is that you can build those friendships and those families, that family feeling here, because you truly are a part of owner of the ecosystem, and not just in the sense of dollars, but in the way that you can contribute, by posting gifts or by posting helpful things or helping people avoid getting scammed. And those things are all incredibly important, and maybe not really pointed out how valuable that is and how much that adds to the real quantitative dollar value, like on the screen here. But super important to understand that the role of being positive and helpful and friendly, what that really adds to the community, and what it adds to that dollar value at the end. And just understanding that you have an impact regardless if you have $100 here or 100,000, because your contribution of that human capital is the thing that really kind of makes that money actually worth something, and makes people want to keep that capital, in that liquidity pair and deepen the liquidity here. So super, super important to understand that, and really understand and believe that, and know that. So yeah, I'm kind of rambling, but
yeah, no, Bull, for sure. I mean, that's what makes us different here at EMP, and I think that people are catching on to that. So I am going to go over a little bit of the UI real fast, and then we can take some more questions. I'll let you get them all ready in a minute here, Bull. But and we purposely have really kind of pumped the brakes on advertising Reactor. I know, we this whole week was about getting the community involved, and then next week will be about getting the general public involved. So I have a lot of AMAs scheduled. We're going to be back on James Pelton. We have a lot of influencers that are going to be putting out videos. Some may even have videos out tonight on Reactor. So we're really excited. So let me run through the UI real fast and just give a little bit more info here. Again, this is essentially a Detonator clone. We're just using different LP ratios, and again, a different LP token. So eShare and BNB. You can see the largest deposit already today was 117 LP. That is the team wallet. A lot of you have already realized that. Again, we go really heavy in the beginning to give a solid foundation. So you're more than welcome to try to outsnipe that, but you may be better off outsniping that tomorrow. Again, this is the main team wallet that we show every day, and that will only compound. So that helps feed the pool balance, and again, build an amazing foundation for the contract. It looks like we're already over 12,000 tickets. That is definitely a new record, even in terms of Detonator. But I definitely think that we could see tomorrow being an amazing day as far as odds of winning. We know that there was going to be a lot of volume in the beginning, but over the next few days, your odds of winning the lottery are probably the best that they're ever going to be. So, and speaking of winning things, and there are a little bit of minor UI issues. Again, it won't be infinity. You will have an updated deposit growth percentage here. Jake is working on all that now, but we will have the win it now. Let me pull this up. For those of you that don't know where win it now is,
you know what though, AJ? I like that infinity. That's the whole to infinity and beyond.
That's true.
Yeah. Everything is up and to the right here, and we're on that moon mission, so I like that. Infinity and beyond. Let's go.
Yeah, well, that's a hell of a chart. Your LP growth is up and to the right, that's for sure. So the win it now will be activated tomorrow. So you're not able to do the win it now today, because again, we don't know what the final pool balance will be after 24 hours. However, I can see this win it now being gone after for hopefully the first few months straight. I know it's going to be really juicy in the beginning, and again, guarantee you a matching reward without having to worry about being out sniped. So, but again, if you want some awesome rewards as well, you can go for the snipe, just like in Detonator, and also win that way. So again, all those game theory mechanics are still in place. Obviously, you can tap in, and again, depending on what you have in your wallet, you can tap right in. And yeah, so again, nothing too different from Detonator. I just want to go over all that real fast. And again, the multiplier, you will get a 1.01 multiplier on deposits or compounds in Reactor if you have deposited or compounded at least 1 LP in Detonator. So again, it is relative to what you're trying to do. So if you want to deposit into Reactor, make sure you deposit 1 LP into Detonator before you do that. And again, make sure you build your bag high enough in Detonator to compound 1 LP to get the compound multiplier in Reactor. And we may adjust those numbers a little bit to encourage more participation. And again, we don't want it to be a Rails game, so if it gets too expensive, we can always reduce the cost as well. But the idea is that you're building your position in both Detonator and Reactor, not cannibalizing one for the other. So really bullish.
AJ, can I make a quick point that it's Thank you. Oh, thank you. And hopefully my volume's not messed up. I know people were telling me my volume was too low on YouTube yesterday, but this is probably fairly obvious. But for people that have multiple wallets, that multiplier is only in effect between your Detonator and Reactor on the same wallet address. It's not. If you have Reactor on one address and Detonator on another, that multiplier is not in effect because that code links your Detonator and Reactor within that specific wallet address.
Yes, another amazing point, Bull, for sure. So it has to be the same wallet address, both in Reactor and Detonator to get credit. So, and we can potentially raise that multiplier as well. So again, if anything, you're going to be adding to your Detonator position to guarantee that you get an even bigger bonus in Reactor rather than the other way around. There was a lot of concern, that Reactor was going to negatively impact Detonator because people, try to APR chase, but you're literally shooting yourself in the foot with this new mechanism. So I'm super bullish on that. Again, Jake is just an absolute wizard. One of the only contracts, a smart contract that is able to talk to another smart contract is some next level, crypto coding solidity wizardry. So shout out to Jake on all that, and again, it just proves why he's one of the best in the business. Well, I say the best in the business. So, all right. Well, we have any other questions or comments?
Is that Chainlink used on Reactor as well?
It is. So we're using the Chainlink VRF for the random lottery and random number generator that chooses the random winner. That is a Chainlink VRF, both for Detonator and Reactor. All of that is in place. We have the official Chainlink partnership coming hopefully next week or the week after. We just needed to get everything implemented before we get with them. And they have a million partnerships. So we're on their schedule. They're not on our schedule. So again, we will be having that as an official partnership, but it is already currently in the works under the hood. So yes, great point, Bull.
Sorry,
AJ.
I'm just reading through the questions.
Yeah, no
Go
problem.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Is that Joe?
Yeah. I'll
Hey.
let Bull gather his questions together. But
All right, brother.
yeah, I also want to thank everybody, and you've thanked everybody, but personally want to thank you also. What an amazing protocol to be in. I'm super excited. The launch was perfection, which if you've been in DeFi long enough, you know that doesn't happen. So really amazing. And the comfort of being in this protocol as Reactor is so quick to learn because it's really the same interface as Detonator. And the way you guys spaced everything out was so strategic and perfectly planned out. So kudos to the whole team.
Thanks,
I'm really excited. It was awesome getting in. Congrats to everybody that was in VIP, everybody that bought the nodes to help out the protocol, and you got in early. You probably saw the benefit of getting those instant rewards show up in your pending rewards there, which is pretty cool. And just wanted to say a couple of things because I know some people are curious. As of right now, all the calculations are the same on Reactor as it is Detonator for everything. So as of right now, if you have a little over 19 LPs in the Reactor, that's enough to compound 50 tickets. I know that's a lot, but I know people are going to ask. So I already did the calcs, and that's what it is. Now, that's subject to change because even though we had a massive amount, I mean, it's crazy. AJ, what are we at? Over $800,000 in how many minutes?
Yep, we're in the first hour and 20 minutes here. We're at $815,000 in the pool balance, almost 1,000 LP right off the bat, which is pretty incredible considering, it's 10 times what the Detonator LP is. So, that's like 10,000 LP in one day. Just insane.
Definitely all eyes on this project. So good job. And I definitely see a flood of people coming in. And this is such an awesome compliment to what we have already. I mean, it's so crazy. We're able to have my two favorite tokens in here, eShare and BNB, and we're earning high yield, lottery potential, largest snipe, and it all feeds back to the mothership. And the fact that you put that multiplier with the Detonator is awesome. I just want to clarify one thing with the 1 LP deposit or 1 LP compound in the Detonator. So the timing is something I just noticed and we talked about a little bit, but in case anyone's curious, if it reset to 1 instead of 1.01, that's because it has to do with the Detonator rollover. So when the Detonator, prior to the rollover, if you already did your compound or deposit it into the Detonator, you would see 1.01. But as soon as Detonator rollover happens, remember, that's a brand new day for Detonator. So that means you're starting back with 0 on the multiplier. So you're going to be at 1 in Reactor. So when you roll over in the Detonator to a new day, it's that 1 LP deposit or 1 LP compound. And as soon as you do that, that activates the 1.01 over Reactor. So as far as a little strategy, the sooner you get the 1 LP into the Detonator, the more you can accumulate through your daily burst in the Reactor. You have that full day of rewards coming in.
Yes,
so
great
just
point,
wanted to
Joe.
drop that in there.
Yep, absolutely. And again, people will, as we get going, it gets a little bit easier to kind of comprehend that. But, the easy way to remember is make sure you're doing your Detonator compounds or deposits first throughout the day. Again, there'll be that 1 hour window that Detonator happens before Reactor. But after that, you just want to make sure you're compounding or depositing into Detonator and then going and doing your compound or your deposit into Reactor. So, yeah.
Hey, AJ, I just wanted to point out, make a measure of clarity too, because as the white paper states too for Reactor, everything is a work in progress, and people's understanding of language is a bit different because this is a project where people come from all over the world. Like the way somebody writes something might be confusing to another. So
sure.
the language will change at times so that it suits. Somebody might refer to something as with one term, and another person might say the same thing. So it is possible that this people are talking about the same things, but maybe using different language or semantics with that, so that it might get it can be a little bit confusing. So I did write that in the white paper, that we always try to provide as much clarity as possible, but there is always that little gray area because of the way that we have multiple language speakers here, and that things can just be slightly different. And so nothing is ever meant to be misleading, but it's just a matter of having people from all over the world communicating and trying to understand what certain things are. So, I am saying this as trying to be have it be a moment of clarity for people too, because
Totally.
I know it can be a little confusing.
Yeah, no, great point, Bull. And again, I mean, when we launch a white paper, I mean, I hate to ever use the word never, but we would never do something fundamentally different. We build the contracts with a certain expectation. Those people that get into the contract, if you alter it after the fact, then it's a bait and switch. But we will never do that. We have never done that. But we will do small alterations, that are for the betterment of the protocol. So again, just like we saw with Detonator version 2, with some, the win it now, the multiple lottery winners. I mean, none of that fundamentally changed the way the contract works. So we would never do that in Reactor either. But like Bull said, there is a level of flexibility, and we really get better about how we word things if it is confusing. Over the next few weeks, we're going to kind of dial everything in and really make it perfect. And so if that means we adjust the multiplier, up or down a little bit, that might happen. Or again, just have a better way of explaining what we're trying to accomplish. But at the end of the day, as long as, again, you're not just completely claiming out of Detonator to then go into Reactor, you'll have a bad time if you do that. So as long as you're compounding or depositing fresh into Detonator, then you get the full multiplier on Reactor. So and again, this is just to protect everybody involved and make it amazing, earning opportunity for everyone as well. I mean, again, we're doubling. We're joking today, Bull. Double the pleasure, double the fun, right? It's like we've doubled the lottery, we've doubled the rewards. I mean, it's just I couldn't be more excited. So. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a crazy thing, right? And I mean, you have to be a little bit older to understand the double mint gum, double the pleasure, double the fun reference. But the Detonator and the Reactor working together, and what we're calling the multiplier, the chain reaction. That's in the white paper, I believe now. So, but the point is that I like to use the term synergy, because synergy means that the output of something is greater than the sum of their parts, and so I think that's what we're going to see here in the ecosystem. And I've mentioned this before, the idea with people coming up with a bunch of different advanced strategies to utilize the Reactor and that right-hand side of the ecosystem and use it to really bolster the left-hand side. And then the left-hand side being able to build out your farms and, take some of that maybe, and go to the right-hand side. And, I'm not telling you to rob your left hand to make your right hand stronger. And I gave that analogy of the weightlifter with different sized arms and looking like very foolish. But if you remain balanced here, I think you're going to find an amazing synergy that takes place between the EMP ETH LP and the 𝘰𝘩𝘪𝘯𝘵 LP, because that's that benefit of the tomb fork that was built. But on top of it, where AJ has used that term, they built a Detonator into a seigniorage project, and it could have been a standalone project, and it could. I, however, think it's much better in this project with the LP. I think it gives it an amazing versatility that just a standalone project would maybe struggle a little bit more with. But because there's some balance on the other side of it now with Reactor, I think we're going to see just some massive growth here, because the potential to earn it has increased greatly because instead of, where people in the past have been like, oh my gosh, it's so slow on this side of the, to earn that EMP ETH LP in the farm, even though it's incredibly important. But when we see what's going to be able to be possible on that right hand side, and the the ability to yield on that side, and then grow that side, and then grow the other side, in balance, I think we're going to see some just amazing TVL and liquidity growth, but some real parity that's built in the system where we didn't see 𝘰𝘩𝘪𝘶 grow, have the type of liquidity that EMP ETH LP does. And because, we have exposure to BNB, which is one of the top, tokens in crypto. I mean, arguably the top, people would say the top 5, but I would say the top 3. And the ability to have exposure to both ETH and BNB, I don't know if there could be a better kind of a scenario or setup. And I assume you guys are probably working on something in the background, but the point is I'm really happy with how the ecosystem is evolving and growing, and how the community is growing right along with it, and adding input to that to make it a better place in all kinds of regards.
Yep, totally, Bull. And again, I mean, it's true. We always pride ourselves on being a one-stop shop protocol that gives you incredible APR, sustainable APR, and exposure to blue chip assets. I mean, again, not only ETH, but now BNB. So we really, it's just so powerful. And the next week now, now that Reactor is live, we're going to be working on some awesome new strategies that I think will really benefit all of you, and how to play the game, so to speak, the most optimal way possible. So the high level on that would be, a lot of you have said, man, I have a lot of extra EMP, and I don't have a lot of fresh funds to bring over. Well, now if you get into Reactor, not only are you able to earn eShare through the farms with your LP or Detonator, and having that LP, but now you essentially have a whole nother way of earning fresh funds through Reactor, that you then could potentially, break your eShare or break your BNB, and sell either of those, because either of those isn't going to hurt the protocol. Now, again, you don't want to be abusing that. Anybody that gets in to Reactor and just claims every day, they're going to ROI a lot less over the long run, and dilute themselves, while the rest of us that are here compounding get a larger pool share. However, again, it's just another way of being able to keep funds in the ecosystem within our economy. And now you have another way of stacking fresh capital through eShare and BNB. You claim, once or twice a week, you sell that for ETH, and then you pair that up, with the EMP that you're already producing, and now you don't have to sell your EMP. You have a larger position. You're accumulating Ethereum along the way, and you're building a position in either the farms, Detonator, or Reactor, all the while we're going. So again, just it really is awesome. Bullet keeps saying that the chain reaction, or the gears on a bike. We're working on a flowchart that shows the infinite money loop to the next level now within the ecosystem. And again, you're doing all of this while accumulating BNB and ETH, and having funds to continue to compound into the protocol. So really exciting stuff. Again, one day at a time. And we also have an amazing month coming up. This again is another proof of concept of how powerful these contracts are. Again, the Detonator style contracts, and we already have 2 partners lined up for a detonator as a service, and both of those will be going live within the next few weeks. So again, another opportunity to earn, and another lottery, and another way of continuing to bring funds back to the mothership as well. Because remember, the Treasury is also benefiting greatly from these contracts, and that will also help us regain PEG, maintain PEG, and again help daily burst in both Detonator and Reactor over the long run. So I couldn't be more excited. This was an amazing day, a flawless launch, and shout out to everybody involved, man. Bull, all the Army, LA for helping with all the Medium articles and the white paper while she was
on vacation.
I was just gonna say while she was on vacation. So LA is as dedicated as it gets. All the Army, all the team, and above all the community for again rolling with the punches. I know we sprang this on everybody with only about a week to promote, but we also did that on purpose because we want those of you that are engaged and part of our community every day to benefit the most. So yeah, really exciting. So all right, Bull, I have time for one or two more as we wrap it up, and the pool balance is over 950 LP. So it's continuing to grow.
Dang it, I lost my page. Yeah, sorry. I was going to read. Okay, give me 1 second. Aaron Ellis here on the main Telegram makes a really good point that I really believe in too. He said, yeah, as much as we talk about building that ETH bag, building that BNB bag is just as important. And so now we have a tool to do that. So, and a healthy way to do it, that can be used to bet. Like, I mean, I cannot tell you how excited I am. Like, I have my flow chart here, pinned up right here in front of my desk so that I can look at it every day. And I know I shared it with a few people. So, I'm excited to get it animated and to get feedback on it, to see where people have tweaks and just different little twists to it, because that is really what makes this community really amazing, is the ability to have just this ridiculous what's the word I'm looking for? This ridiculous ability to add value, like all these little pieces coming together, because some of us are good at this, some of us are good at that. And things that when you have that conversation with another person that you never thought of, and just something beautiful being born in that conversation that neither of you thought of. When that conversation started, you would have never thought that, you would have maybe started talking about something, but because you did, and that's why, sorry to go off on a tangent, AJ, but I just want to point out to everybody, that is the power of crypto, the ability to, collectively pool your intelligence and passion with people to build something, to, meet these people, to talk to different people in different parts of the world, where we've never had really that ability to do that, to build, to, this clean slate where we can make money to change our lives. But just the being able to come together and share different ideas and stories, and then just create something special. And that's really what we have here, is this opportunity to build just an amazing community, that you guys can build the pieces in the ecosystem, but people in this community too can add, their ideas and build parts of the project, because I know people have, sent you ideas, that are being worked on, looked at. And that's really the important thing for people to realize, is that this is a community project, and it's not just hyperbole. It's not just BS. This is a community owned project. It is a community built project. And, like AJ said, just because you don't know how to code, that doesn't mean that you can't contribute. There's a whole lot of different ways to contribute. And I just I love the idea of being able to build together and just build whatever you want. And in the past, I have, talked about DeFi as financial Legos, and that's what we have here. And I'm a big fan of Legos. I know I was speaking to Jake the other day, and he was talking about how he grew up playing Minecraft, and I've always thought of Minecraft as just a newer version of Legos. It just happens that instead of building it with your hands, you're building it, digitally. And so there's just something special when we look at crypto about the pieces that can be put together, be it, these pieces of code or the pieces of human beings being put together to just come up with just ridiculously, cool ideas. And it's hard to say that happens in the physical world. I'm sure it does, but the ability to do that here is really unmatched, because where we've talked about their language is a barrier, and understanding, some person's understanding of something might be different than yours, but because we can freely talk to one another, and it doesn't matter the time of the day, it doesn't matter if they live, 15,000 miles away, we can do that in a second here on Telegram, on Discord, on Zoom. And that's using technology to our advantage, to empower us, not to, to make our lives worse, but to make it better by sharing these ideas and building something just amazing together, be it, like I said, part of the project, friendships, but ultimately, whatever you want to do, you can be a builder here. And that's really the point of crypto is to be a builder in all regards.
Awesome, Bull. Yes, man. Again, our crypto dad, Bull Gates, with some words of wisdom. And it's true, brother. I mean, we wanted to roll out Reactor sooner than later for many reasons. But one of the major reasons was the community sentiment as well. I know, we've seen crypto take another dive. People were not so certain about the ETH merge. And so now with Reactor, not only is it another, safe haven and way to earn, but it is another opportunity for those that are already in the ecosystem to support the ecosystem. And we've said it many times, we could build the most badass DeFi platform on the planet, but if nobody uses it and nobody supports it, then none of us can win. So we've been really lucky with a community that understands that. It's been a lot of hard work. But again, it is one of the only protocols that we can all win together, as long as we're rowing in the right, in the same direction. We continue to, focus on our own strategies, because at the end of the day, as long as you're optimizing how you play the ecosystem, that's all that matters. I mean, yes, will there be people that dump? Yes, there'll be bad actors. But over time, those of us that are here, and again, building our positions, we will severely outweigh any of those people, because once they dump, that's it. I mean, there's only so much EMP in existence, and eShare as well. I mean, we are extending emissions on eShare, but with the decay model, there is only so much eShare that will be around as well. So really exciting stuff. Bull, I'm gonna go through real fast
Go ahead.
the YouTube here. So somebody asked about any consideration for Europeans. It sucks staying up this late. So yeah, we are, again, all the AMAs are recorded. So please feel free to listen to the AMAs after the fact. We are really trying to push our YouTube channel as well. We are now monetized, and we've been killing it on ads. We're making like $10 a day now. It started at 5, now we're up to 10. In another few weeks, we could be at 20.
Keep watching those ads, people.
Yeah,
let them ads play.
Exactly, bullet ads up, but we're way ahead of schedule on the monetization.
That's why they call them ads.
Yeah, exactly. But that will help our protocol. I mean, all of the ads, ad revenue that we get through being a monetized partner on YouTube will go back to the Treasury and supporting PEG. So unfortunately, the AMAs are going to be around the same time, but you're always more than welcome to listen to the recordings. All right, what else? Let me see. David says, now get some sleep, AJ. Yes, thanks, David. Again, we've been working really hard, but Jake is the one that really has been doing a lot of heavy lifting. Bull and I are here just to make sure we get the word out to all of you. But again, it's been a team effort for sure. So, all right, a few other ones here, and then we'll wrap it up. Let me see. There was one about, yeah, already, again, almost 1,000 LP in the pool. Oh, here we go. Will the reactor on Impulse be P-share and PulseX or Hex? So, yeah, that's a great question. We, again, our next priority will be launching our sister project, Impulse, which is set to be the first seigniorage protocol on Pulse Chain. And yes, I mean, potentially we would have, you know, 2 contracts on, you know, Impulse as well. We're definitely going to have a detonator style. So, and that will be in the Pulse PLS and IMP pair. So yeah, it would make sense that we would do one in Pulse X and you know, possibly either again whatever the native token. Well, it would be PLS and PLSX. So yes, the short answer is for sure, and we see that happening as soon as Richard Hart announces that Pulse is live. So it'll be about 1 month lead time until then. So all right, I think that was it. Was there any other questions, Bull?
No, I think everybody. Well, there was one question. You know, number one, did people have trouble sleeping, or number two, did they sleep like a baby last night? And I think most people said number one because they were eagerly anticipating this. So
awesome. Yes.
How about a question? Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get some engagement in the chat. So I guess let's do this. Did Reactor exceed your expectations? Yes or no? You can put that in the chat on YouTube. For me, it was a hell yes. Again, to have almost $1 million within the first few hours is incredible. We'll see what we end up with tomorrow as a final rollover balance. Just remember, don't go too crazy. You also want to have enough dry powder or eShare BNB on the side because if you deposit over the next few days, you will maximize your tickets. So, and Joe, I think, has already posted the ticket chart to make sure you all are getting the maximum amount of tickets because remember, over the first few weeks, that is statistically your best odds of winning the lottery. So just make sure you're keeping that in mind as well. So, all right.
Can I make a quick point?
Yeah, go ahead, guys.
Joe.
Yeah,
go ahead.
everybody, go ahead.
AJ, as of tomorrow, we're going to have four lottery winners based on the largest deposit that the Treasury put in.
Yes, brother, no doubt. So there you go. And even more of a reason to be a statistical favorite. I mean, yes, we have over 12,000 tickets, which is a new record, but now we're giving away 4 lottery prizes instead of 1. So, yeah, great point, Joe. And again, that will only hopefully continue because the win it now can only be hit once a day. So if you still want to be able to snipe, you have to do it through the largest depositor. So again, just amazing game theory, no matter how you look at it. But Buller, go ahead. Was there something else you were going to say?
Yeah, just really quickly. And sorry, I tend to ramble people, but so when we're talking about balance too, we're not just talking about 50% of your funds in Detonator and 50% of your funds in Reactor. You do want to have a healthy balance in the farms, and have that ability to move them into the Detonator or into the Reactor, or farm yourself eShare. And we can't forget, about like your EMP coming off the nodes or EMP being printed in the boardroom. And so remember that because Reactor is a new part of the ecosystem, that the balancing of your strategies is going to change now, and that it's important to remain flexible. And part of remaining flexible is having remaining liquid. And having that ability to support the farms, to also support having that little bit of flexibility and consistency, so that that you can plan accordingly, because there will be a little bit of volatility here in the system as things level out. But as it levels out, I think it's going to be beneficial for everybody to have a position throughout the ecosystem, instead of all in one side or all in the other. And just the being in one side, helps the other side work, and vice versa. So totally. Just remember to just maybe take a step back and look at it a little bit, and maybe wait for strategies to come in. And of course, I'm very excited for Reactor, and like people getting in there, but I also want to make sure people remain like truly, like I am the crypto dad in the room, but have the party, but clean up afterwards. And just I just don't want people being remorseful or upset about like being in a bad position. And I saw it happen with Detonator, even though I believe Detonator is an amazing contract and part of the ecosystem. I do want to try to be as responsible as I can. And I know people had hurt feelings for jumping in Detonator, and I don't want to see that happen with the Reactor, especially when you can go in the farm and help build that side of the ecosystem, and help build your portfolio really in a responsible, good acting type of manner that you're going to be happy with, because you can move things around and have that flexibility.
Totally, Bill. And again, it's more a matter of putting your capital to work. So, there's a ton of eShare that's still in the boardroom, and this could be a great way to earn on that capital without it just sitting there. And so, again, just never go all into anything. And I think that's kind of what Bull is getting at. You want to be able to have some dry powder. We may see eShare go down from here, but we may see it go up as well. And it's just a matter of DCAing into things. Again, we always preach, responsible strategies rather than getting FOMO and going all in. But man, we have just seen some incredible volume already, and beyond my expectation. And we're just getting started. I mean, it's been 2 hours. Just wait for the next 24 hours. It's just we could see even more fireworks. All right, there was two last things too. Somebody asked about referral rewards. So yes, we did make the decision to remove referral rewards on Reactor. They are still live on Detonator, and so really we've come up with what we feel is a better solution anyway. So if you are a influencer, or again Twitter, YouTube, any kind of a following, we are actually going to have a pool that we reward based on the incoming treasury balance anyway. So it's essentially a built-in referral program, but at the discretion of the treasury, and rewarding the influencers at random. So similar to the game theory behind our snipes, we're applying that to the rewards we give to our influencers. So we'll have a write-up on that. On how that mechanism works in the white paper, once we kind of see what the balance is at. But as of right now, 4% of all deposits go to the treasury anyway, and we feel like that is a much better solution to help not only maintain PEG, but also help maintain daily burst, in both Reactor and Detonator, because we have those fresh funds to support the ecosystem. So again, we'll keep everybody in the loop. If you are an influencer and want to be in that pool, please reach out to us on Discord. We have a group of influencers that have, there's a few requirements. You have to know a little bit about the protocol. You don't have to take a course or, a test, but we do want you to be familiar with the protocol, and you have to do a playlist of all the videos in regards to EMP. So if you do that, reach out to Red or Charlie on Discord, and they will put you in our partner program for our influencers, and then those will be eligible for random rewards from the Treasury directly. So, all right, awesome. And then I think that's it. We're already calculating 2% of daily burst today. So again, that's pretty wild. That will not last. Again, daily burst will definitely go down. But for right now, at 2% a day, that's pretty insane. So get in. What do they say? Strike while the iron's hot. So, and that's not financial advice. So, all right, awesome. Bull, I think that's it, brother. I'm gonna wrap it up. Anybody else have any last comments or questions? Nope. All right, Bull. Well, thanks everybody for being here. Again, another amazingly successful launch, which is a very rare thing in crypto. Everything went through flawlessly. If there are some minor UI issues, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to look at them. Give Jake a day or two just to dial everything in, and then we will be off to the races with yet another way of earning in our ecosystem. So,
just a quick point of clarity, AJ, and I know it's been posted a couple times in the channels, but there is an issue with on the Reactor page with the winning LP size. It's not 300, it's 20 LP. 300 LP is the minimum prize for Detonator. The minimum prize for Reactor is 20 LP. So it's a huge difference. So I just wanted to point it out so that nobody could say, well, I thought it was 300 LP. So yes,
great point. We're going to get that fixed ASAP. I know Jake is in the process of doing it now, but if you do see it though, I mean, again, that just makes sense. 300 LP would be, half the pool almost. So yeah, it's more like 20, and that was just a typo from the original Detonator contract. So if anybody asks in the comments, again, please feel free to help out over the next few days educating our fellow participants. So, all right, awesome. Well, thanks again, everybody. Bull, thanks for helping me. I know, like you said, I was the nervous dad trying to have a baby here with this new Reactor contract.
I think that's why it turns out, though, right? It's you wouldn't be nervous. You wouldn't have that anticipation if you didn't care, right? It's you care because you're here every day. You know these people. They're not just names on a screen. They're part of this EMP family, and that's why it's you and 5,000 of us basically sitting around that waiting room to hear what it's a boy, is it a girl, what is it, and so we're all nervous with you, but me, truthfully, I never really ever get stressed out or nervous. So
you're talking me off the ledge, Bull. Yeah, you're the voice of reason, man. Yeah,
I'm eternally optimistic about how things are going to go, about people, because I believe in people. I believe in the goodness of people, and so all those idealistic things I talked about the other day, they're true. I believe in them, and I do whatever I can to help anybody that I come across that has an ability to want to help themselves. So
perfect. Well, on that note, again, that's a great way to wrap it up. Thank you for everything, Bull. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to Jake. Again, Chad Dev, one of the most based devs in all of crypto, and he is on our team. I mean, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. So, proving himself time after time, another flawless launch, and not a lot of crypto projects can say that. So shout out to him, shout out to the team, shout out to the army, and shout out to our entire community for putting in almost $1 million within the first few hours of this new contract. Everywhere we go, EMP brings a large stick with us. So, and we keep proving it again and again. But all right, awesome. Well, we will be on our regular schedule tomorrow, and we'll again go over more strategy and updates and alpha as we have another jam-packed week ahead of us. So, all right, everybody, good night, good day. We'll see you tomorrow.